Peace. This is White Raptor News Ministries, taking off number 16. Korah, Dathan, and Abiram is the title. And starting at the beginning, Korah, son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and the certain Reubenites, Dathan, and Abiram, son of Eliab, and On son of Peleth, came insolent, and rose up against Moses. With them were 250 Israelite men, well-known community leaders who had been appointed members of the council. They came as a group to oppose Moses and Aaron and said to them, "You have gone too far. The whole community is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is with them. Why then do you set yourselves above the Lord's assembly?" When Moses heard this, he fell face down. And then he said to Korah and all his followers, in the morning, before I read on here, has anybody ever seen a Moses movie where Moses has fallen to the ground? Other than when he's talking to God at the burning bush? I don't understand if Moses is this high prophet that's leading children of Israel, the highest honor of children from God, why he would be bowing to anyone. Makes no sense to me. In the morning, the Lord will show you who belongs to him and who is holy, and he will have that person come near him. The man he chooses, he will cause to come near him. You, Korah, and all your followers are to do this. Take censers, and tomorrow put burning coals and incense in them before the Lord. The man the Lord chooses will be the one who is holy. You Levites have gone too far. So now we have the Levites, one of the highest tribes of the Most High. No census is taken of the Levites. And now we're being told that the Levites have gone too far and they've offended God. What have they offended God for? What have they done? Moses also said to Korah, "Now listen, you Levites, isn't it enough for you that the God of Israel has separated you from the rest of the Israelite community and brought you near himself to do the work of the Lord's tabernacle and to stand before the community and minister to them? He has brought you and all your fellow Levites near him, but you are trying to get the priesthood too. It is against the Lord that you and all your followers have banded together. Who is Aaron that you should grumble against him?" Then Moses summoned Dathan and Abiram and the son of Eliab. But they said, "We will come. Isn't it enough that you have brought us up out of the land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness? And now you also want to lord it over us? Moreover, you haven't brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, or given us an inheritance of field and vineyards. Do you want to treat these men like slaves? No, we will not come." Then Moses became very angry and said to the Lord, "Do not accept their offerings. I have not taken so much as a donkey from them, nor have I wronged any of them." Moses said to Korah, "You and all your followers are to appear before the Lord tomorrow, you and they and Aaron. Each man is to take his censer and put incense in it, 250 censers and all, and present it before the Lord. You and Aaron are to present your censers also." So each of them took his censer, putting burning coal and incense in it, and stood with Moses and Aaron at the entrance to the tent of meetings. When Korah had gathered all his followers in opposition to them at the entrance to the tent of meeting, the glory of the Lord appeared to the entire assembly. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Separate yourselves from this assembly, so I can put an end to them at once." But Moses and Aaron fell face down and cried out, "O God, the God who gives breath to all living things, will you be angry with the entire assembly when only one man sins?" Then the Lord said to Moses, "Say to the assembly, move away from the tent of Korah, Dathan and Abiram." Moses got up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elder of Israel followed him. He warned the assembly, "Move back from the tent of this wicked man. Do not touch anything belonging to them, or you will be swept away because of all their sins." So they moved away from the tent of Korah, Dathan and Abiram. Dathan and Abiram had come out and were standing with their wives, children, and little ones at the entrance to their tents. Then Moses said, "This is how you will know that the Lord has sent me to do all the things and that it was not my idea. If these men die a natural death and suffer the fate of all mankind, then the Lord has not sent me. But if the Lord brings about something totally new, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them with everything that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the realm of the dead, then you will know that these men have treated the Lord with contempt belonging to them, and they will go down alive into the realm of the dead." The realm of the dead. I'm trying to tell everybody duality exists, okay? This is the realm of the dead that we live in. This is a training ground for the soul. We're being taught, folks. Our souls are being taught. The flesh suit is an incarnated offering to life and to be grateful to a supreme Spirit of truth, a living God, one living God, not a trinity, not any religious trinities, all religions on the face of this earth. I'm learning that they're all in contempt of God. None of this stuff is even going on today. And those that are in the providence of Jerusalem that are performing all of these things, all this, what's going on, aren't the true children of God. They're imposters. You guys don't have a clue what's happened, man. You understand that the Hebrew Israelites' rights, their inheritance, and everything was captured by the white man. Now, everybody wants to push racism. Well, folks, aren't we living in a white world? And don't get me wrong, there's plenty of black leaders as well. But they're all Gentiles is what I'm saying. They're all beasts. Anybody that's in a position of power that lives fat off the hog from your tax monies and does corrupted things and eats $10,000 meals at parties and stuff like that are just sheer evil parasites, and they don't care about anybody but themselves. As soon as he finished saying all these things, the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them and their households, and all those associated with Korah, together with their possessions. They went down alive into the realm of the dead with everything they owned. The earth closed over them, and they perished and were gone from the community. All their cries, all the Israelites around them fled, shouting, "The earth is going to swallow us too." And the fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men who were offering the incense. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, to remove the censers from the charred remains and scatter the coals some distance away from the censers are holy, for the censers are holy. The censers of the men who sinned at the cost of their lives. Hammer the censers into the sheets to overlay the altar, for they were presented before the Lord and have become holy. let them be a sign to the Israelites. So Eleazar, the priest, collected the bronze censers brought by those who had been burned to death. And he had them hammered out to overlay the altar. I'm here, this parable here, man. So Eleazar and the priest collected the bronze censers brought by those who had been burned to death. Okay, and he had them hammered out to overlay the altar. I wasn't understanding that the first time I read it. As the Lord directed him through Moses, this was to remind the Israelites that no one except a descendant of Aaron should come to burn incense before the Lord, or he would become like Korah and his followers. Well, that's pretty terrifying, huh? So if I was to light up a piece of incense right now and offer it to the Lord, would I be struck down right here, right now? You ask yourself, why doesn't the Lord strike down? He gives you all these commands and then doesn't do anything about it. Because he's offering you a chance, a choice. He's offering you choice. What part of God do you want to be? Do you want to be with the better part of God, the higher mind of God, or do you want to be with the lower mind of God, which he created evil? Something with arrogance and pride, like Satan. Okay. The next day, the whole Israelite community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. You have killed the Lord's people, they said. But when the assembly gathered in opposition to Moses and Aaron and turned towards the tent of meeting, suddenly the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. Then Moses and Aaron went to the front of the tent of meeting, and the Lord said to Moses, get away from this assembly so I can put an end to them at once. And they fell face down. Then Moses said to Aaron, take your censers and put incense in it, along with burning coals from the altar, and hurry to the assembly to make atonement for them. Wrath has come out from the Lord. The plague has started. So Aaron did as Moses said and ran into the midst of the assembly. The plague had already started among the people, but Aaron offered the incense and made atonement for them. He stood between the living and the dead, and plague stopped. The living and the dead. What is the difference between the living and the dead? Okay, folks, you got to understand that there is a race of people that are the walking dead. They made a movie in Hollywood. They called it The Walking Dead. They call it the zombie apocalypse. This is what they're talking about. This plane, when you're born into this plane of existence, you are born into death. Okay? You have a soul. Okay? But your soul, not all souls, only a very few selected souls have the spirit of life on them. And this is the difference between the living and the dead. But 14,700 people died from the plague, in addition to those who had died because of Korah. Then Aaron returned to Moses at the entrance to the tent of meetings, for the plague had stopped. And that was chapter 16. I'm going to go ahead and pop one more of these off as well. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. This is White Raptor News Ministries.